Wetlands provide a home for millions of birds. They provide water, which is vital for life to survive. A lot of the birds out here have developed different feeding strategies so that they can coexist together. Birds such as herons and egrets, they actually spear fish through the water. The largest variety here is in the waders. We get species like our avocets, which have a lovely curved bill, and they use that to filter insects out of the water and out of the mud as well. We have species like black-tailed godwits and snipe, which have really long bills. And they use that to poke around in the mud and get those insects that are right underneath. And then species like lapwing have a beautiful call, and they have a very short bill which they use to pick off insects just off the surface. Thanks to the recreation of wetlands around the Ouse washes, these birds are given a chance to thrive for generations to come.
Hares are the most incredible creatures. They're also the fastest land animal in the UK, with speeds of up to 45 kilometres an hour. This time of year, Mad March Hares is all to do about boxing. And tradition says that the boxing is the males trying to outdo one another for the female's pleasure. But in fact, it's the females saying, "No, get off me, I'm not interested at the moment." Because of this, when the male does ultimately mate with the female, he's usually the strongest male around. I've become endeared to these creatures because they are not only wonderful to watch, they're not only incredibly athletic, but they have this ability to hide in a way that the army would be very proud of if they could only reenact it. They are indeed a creature to inspire.
As the grazing officer here at Welney, it's my job to look after all the cattle. I love cattle, they're fantastic creatures. They all have their own personalities and you get to know them over the season. So you might be wondering why we have cattle on a nature reserve. Well, they do a really important job. Not only do they come in and eat the grass, which is one of the things that they need, but by eating the grass they create different conditions for different types of birds. They'll leave tussocky areas around where the birds can hide, and they'll create bare ground, which is ideal for when they're nesting. Another thing that the animals do as they're mooching around the fields eating the grasses is they churn the ground up. It's called poaching. And where they poach the ground up, they create little micro-environments. And then you get things like invertebrates which lay eggs in there, and midges and things that start to breed. And then that provides food for all the birds that come around. So the cattle do a really important part of creating the right environment here at Welney, creating a fantastic nature reserve for all the creatures that live here. They really are an essential part of our team.
Moths are absolutely amazing creatures. They come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, and they all have different strategies. There are over 150,000 types of moth in the world, and some of them haven't even been named yet. One of the ways that we monitor the diversity of moths that we have here is by using moth traps. We line the trap with egg boxes. These create some fantastic little cracks and crevices for the moths to come in and stay nice and warm and cosy over the night. And in the morning we can inspect them and see them nice and close. Moths belong to the same family as butterflies. However, most of them come out at night. One of their biggest predators is the bat that uses echolocation to see them in the air. But moths are fighting back. They've developed unique strategies to evade these bat predators. Some of them emit squeaking sounds which confuse the bat's echolocation, and others fold up their wings and just drop out of the sky. So as dusk falls, be sure to keep an eye out for some of these fantastic species.
Water voles are one of my favourite wetland species. They're quite a secretive mammal, but people always remember their first sighting of one. They have quite a blunt nose, they're very cute and furry, and their ears are tucked into that fur, and they also have a furry tail, so not the hairless tail like you would associate with a rat. When trying to get a glimpse of a water vole, there are some telltale signs that you can look out for. When looking amongst the reeds, if you get muddy areas, look for really shiny, polished mud, and also feeding areas, so look out for lots of chopped bits of reed. Unfortunately, water voles have undergone a decline in the UK due to habitat loss and the predation from mink. But at sites like Welney on the Ouse washes, they've managed to cling on and they're really thriving in this type of habitat.